So we're currently transitioning from you in Australia to Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
You played with Persib, one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in
Yeah.
Indonesia, right? So how was that experience like, right? So you were a top player in Australia. You played for Adelaide United and you played
Yeah.
for Brisbane Roar, and you're a highly rated player in the A League. You became a top scorer one time, and then you moved to Indonesia. What was the biggest difference in terms of your experience on the pitch as a player from playing in a league like A League and then moving to Indonesia with Persib? What was the biggest difference that you spot?
One of the biggest differences is the crowd. You know, in Australia, you have an average attendance at the stadium of maybe 10,000, sometimes maybe a little bit less per game. And in Indonesia, that's much bigger. I mean, especially if you play for Persib, you know, most of the time stadium is sold out. So, you know, as an experience for a player, that feels, playing in Indonesia feels like, you are a football star, like you see on TV playing for Real Madrid or whatever. So that's already a big difference. Another difference is the pitch. The pitch is not always that good. Maybe I think because it's not something that the people who run the stadiums are thinking about. Like, okay, we have to have good grass because good grass will make good football, or the chances bigger that football is played better. But on the other hand, you know, you have to accept these things and just keep playing. And sometimes from these bad pitches, some good things can happen as well. If the ball bounces the right way and you hit it, then it goes in as well. Yeah, it's also because of the pitch. So those two things. And you know, Australia was already a big country to travel because, you know, all of these cities are far away. Indonesia is similar, but in Indonesia it's maybe even more difficult because you cannot always travel in one time in one trip to one city. For example, if you go to if you have to play Persipura or
Persipura, right?
Yeah, Persipura. It's like 3 flights waiting and then a small flight, and
right.
So those are different aspects of football in these countries.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but also it can be fun, right? You know, the unpredictability of it, right?
Exactly, but that's also the thing. You know, it's also your perspective on how you look at these kind of situations. Is it something that you want to think like, oh no, this is terrible, or can you say, hey, wow, who would have thought that I would come to this place, or that I would experience something like this? And I chose for the second one, and I enjoyed it.
That's great. That's great. So what about Thailand? What about Iran? These other Asian countries, right? You're in Asia. Well, you can consider Australia as part of Asia if you like. But what about these three very Asian countries like Indonesia, Thailand, and also Iran? How are they different to each other in terms of football?
Yeah, you know, first of all, religion-wise, they are also different. So that means the dynamics at with your teammates are different as well. Nothing special, but just different. And for example, Thailand was also a great experience. Even though I didn't really knew anything about Thai football before I went there. You know, I was more aware of Indonesian football, but not Thailand. But what the thing is in Thailand, they are already a little bit more westernized. So they try to do the things that Western clubs also do. For example, many clubs already have their own training facility with a gym, with a good dressing room. The pitches are also very nice. So that's already a development comparing to Indonesia. But crowd-wise and the total experience being a professional football player, they are still behind Indonesia. I mean, Indonesia.
Oh, really? Oh, really? I thought we're quite comparable to each other, no?
No.
Okay.
Crowd-wise, Indonesia is more exceptional. Iran was also a different class also, because Iran has a lot of national team players playing in the Iranian league, and the Iran national team is going to World Cups and stuff. So you can imagine the level in the league is pretty high. But because of all the problems surrounding Iran, no one is really paying attention to this league. So people don't really know about these players, about the level of the league and stuff. But for me, to be honest, it was the level in Iran was pretty high, because I also played for a team that was regularly in the Champions League. So my competitors, the other players in my team who were playing in my position, they were also of standard national team standard of Iran or Albania. So it wasn't really easy for me to get my spot. But as I said also before, experiencing this culture was also a big positive thing for me. And even though I didn't play as much as I wanted to, in the end I played more and more games. But then the management changed, and I had to change club as well.
Okay. So now talk to us about your experience as a player for the Indonesian national team. Right, you have an Indonesian heritage in you.
Yeah,
so
correct.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, both my grandparents came from Indonesia to the Netherlands. Obviously, they were in a totally different situation than I am today. They had to leave Indonesia, far away from family, friends. In my way, I came to Indonesia for my job, to be a football player, which is you are rated like some kind of superstar. I didn't feel like that, but that's just how it is, how they look at you. And that was a strange thing, because in a country of 270 million people, where a lot of these people know about you, it's a strange feeling,
Yeah, they become so obsessed about your upbringing, your personal life.
Yeah, and for me it wasn't a big problem or something, but it was just to I still have family, in Bandung, in Maluku, and they are also like, wow, he's family of ours. And I still feel like just a normal guy just playing football, and so this thing of being also in the national team and stuff, that made me feel proud that I was able to do this also for all of my family around the world, and that they could say like, okay, that's our family that has made something in Indonesia. And that was something that I was proud of.
That's amazing, man. I'm sure a lot of Indonesian football fans are grateful that you've been part of the national team also.
It wasn't I didn't play that many games, and also not the best games, to be honest. At the time that I was eligible to play for the national team, there were some the how you say it, the federation was suspended.
Oh, it was back then. Oh, okay.
So I couldn't play that many. So in total, I played one AFC Cup tournament and a couple of friendlies and some qualifications for World Cup, and that's it. So I think you can count it on two hands, maybe 7-8 games. And it could have been more. And but okay, it was a great experience, especially the first game to stand there in a stadium in Jakarta, Bung Karno Stadium. Bung Karno, and to be there with all these fans. It's such a big crowd, and yeah, it was something that I will forever remember.
Amazing, amazing. Thanks for sharing that with us. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be grateful to hear that.